Hello everyone, welcome to Fun Fold Friday. This is Lisa Cunningham from LC Designs. Today I have a fun fold that I'm going to be using the Layers of Beauty bundle, so the stamp set and dies. I love this when I first got it. This is a stamp set that has been out for a while, but I thought I would pull it out, and I'm going to pull out some. So this is from the annual catalog. Where did I do with my catalog? So it is on page 100. It's right here. There's the stamp set, the dies, and the masks. So my original card, I didn't use the masks, but I'm going to use the masks because I forgot about them, and I really want to show you how easy it comes together. So again, the annual catalog, page 100. This stamp set is, all this is still available. And we're also going to be using the Kintsugi Imperfections Designer Series paper. This is really pretty because it has the gold in it. We're going to use this pattern and this pattern, but there are some other ones. You know, there's a stamp set and dies that go to this one as well, where you can cut out these all these vases and stuff. I did a class with this last year. Fun class. But we'll be using this. This is still available as well. Let me get that out of the way. So where should we start? We're going to start, I think, with the stamp. So I'm using my Stamparatus, which is not available anymore. But I do have the big block that'll fit on, the stamp will fit on as well. But I'm going to use the Stamparatus because, you know, my hands have really been hurting me lately. And I want to be able to use a couple of tools. Oh, before I forget, here is the products I use and then the measurements. As soon as I stamp this, I'll get this out of, I will put it here so that you can do a screenshot and get the measurements. But let's do this first. So I have this piece of paper. This is big. We don't really need it this big. Actually, let's trim it down. We're going to cut this down to let me find 5.5 by 4. So 5.5. Again, this is a scratch piece of paper that I keep using. Okay. And this is going to be somewhat of a long video. So I put these little lines here to kind of show me, I believe, where where my stamp is going to go to fit on the paper. Yes. All right. So try to get you into the screen. I like to put that under there. So I didn't even show you, but here is the fun fold card that we're going to make today. And it's an anniversary card. You know, I always need anniversary cards and I don't have them. So what I wanted to show you is, I told you I didn't use the masks. So I colored these in with Stampin' Blends. I wanted to do the pinks to kind of give it a pop, but I think today we're going to do the blues with the masks, and I'll show you. I'll show you the difference. Look, here is one that I already did with the blues. Isn't that so pretty? So pretty. And while I'm at it, okay, that's the card we're doing today. Let me show you another sample. I did this with the new Valentine's paper, but I want to make another anniversary. And look, I did the masks on this one. I believe I used Pretty in Pink, Flirty Flamingo, and Melon Mambo on these flowers. And then I used the Granny Apple, or no, yeah, I used Granny Apple and Old Olive, which we're going to use today as well. That's so pretty. So pretty much we're going to do the same thing. This is just another sample that I wanted to show you. So we're going to be doing some heat embossing. We're going to be using masks. We're going to be doing a lot of different things today for this fun fold. So I'm inking up my flowers with Memento ink. I like to get a lot of ink on there. And we're going to flip this over. If you have a Misty, I'm not sure who puts the Misty out. It might be scrapbook.com. You can use that as well if you don't have the big block. This actually looks pretty good, but I'm going to go over it one more time just to make that a little bit darker. But I think it actually looks good as it is. And I get this out of the way, and this should line right back up. And this is another thing I got, I think, from scrapbook.com, but this just helps put the pressure. Like I said, my hands have been hurting me. You know, I'm probably getting arthritis, and I'm refusing to accept it. But there is that. So let's get our masks going. So for the masks, now there's 5 different masks, and they're actually numbered. So I don't know if, can you see that number 1 there? There's a 1. They're the same color as the mat, so they're probably hard to see. So we're gonna line, so first I'm gonna tape my paper down, and I just use this blue tape, of course, that I got from scrapbook.com. I feel like I'm promoting scrapbook.com more than I am my Stampin' Up! Products. Let me get this. I promise to put this over here for you so you can get, where are the measurements? Making sure everything's in the camera. Right? Is that all in there? Yes. Okay. I'm so short that my camera's up high. And I'm going to use some more of this tape just to hold. That my camera's so high, I'm so short that I can't even see what's what's on there. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's tape this one down. And these masks, like I said, they're numbered, but they also have this little V on it. So let me figure out. I think it's going to go like this. Let me get this other stuff out of the way. And each mask, you're going to color certain things in. Do I have this right? Am I way off? I don't know why it's at an angle when you put the masks down. Okay, so that looks right. So I'm going to tape this down because I don't want it to move while I'm blending. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, there's that little V. I'm going to put like 4 pieces of tape. And so what we could do is mark this V. I probably could have turned this the other way around. Should I turn it around for you guys? Or I already have it taped in place. All right, so like I said, we're going to do with the blues. So I'm going to start out with the lightest blue, which is Misty Moonlight, and then we're going to go with Blueberry Bushel, and then Night of Navy. So on here, I hope this, I used red, but these ones you really don't have to blend off first because we're triple layering these. So I just love the way that these flowers come out once you're done with all of your masking. So you want to just, all the openings, you want to make sure that you get ink in them. And like I said, we're starting with the smallest, or the lightest, not smallest. Here's some little circles here, or openings. And when you just keep layering the masks on, you're going to see the difference. Okay, so Misty Moonlight was first. Now we're going to Blueberry Bushel. Now I'm not changing my brush, my blending brush, because I'm going to a darker color. So let's remove this mask. And these, they just wash off. I just put them in the sink and wash them off. So let's find number 2 now. Number 2. I guess I should put all my stuff in order. So 2. So this, we can line this up over here. And it should match, but it doesn't look like it's going to match perfectly. Maybe, let me see. Let me see. I think I just have to, it does match there. So we'll put our 4 pieces of tape. And again, now we're going to go with Blueberry Bushel, which is the next darkest. And again, ooh, look at that. That looks like a nice bright blue. It is the same that I used on the others. So you're just getting, again, over those openings. You want to make sure that you get ink on all of those openings. And they're just, these are just, you're just putting the layers, which it's called Layers of Beauty. All right, I think I got all the openings. Did I miss any? All right, so then we take this mask off, and then I get all my pieces of tape, and we're gonna go to number 3. See the layer? Look at that already. How pretty. And then here's number 3. So that's gotta fit in there, and I have to figure out how this goes without sticking my head in the camera. So I think we are lined up like so. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you guys have this bundle? It's going to be going away when the new catalog comes out. It's still available for a while. So now we're going to Night and Navy. So now here's the darker. Again, I'm not cleaning my brush because I'm going to a darker color. It's if you're going from a dark to a light, you definitely don't want to use the same brush. But since we're going darker, this is okay. All right, we're getting those centers of those flowers. All right, so I think we're done with our blues. Now we're gonna do those leaves. Now look at that. Oh my gosh, isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Move this one aside. Now we're gonna layer our leaves. So we're on number 4. Let me line this up. That one looked pretty good right off the bat. I must have did something right there. Let's tape this down. And I tape mine down just because I don't want it to move as I'm brushing or blending. Okay, so now we're going to use Granny Apple Green first because Granny Apple's the lighter color. And let's get the blending brush, and we're just going to brush all of these leaves with color. I love the Granny Apple Green with the Old Olive. I could have did like Old Olive, then Mossy Meadow, but I really like the color of this Granny Apple Green. Get some ink in there. Get all those little open spots. I hope you guys are enjoying my Fun Fold Friday. I wanted to do another video besides just Wednesday. You know, with my busy traveling schedule, I'm trying to make up for a lot of travel time. And this year I'm going to be traveling a lot as well. But I'm also trying to get my business growing. All right, so we're going to take that off and look at that color. Oh my goodness. I think this might be my favorite color combo. And then now we're on the 5th one. Line that up. And let me make sure I look like I'm lined up pretty good there. Add these 4 pieces of tape. Like I said, this is going to be a longer video just because of all of this. Now again, I'm going to a darker color, so now we're doing Old Olive. And we're just, see, you can already see that Old Olive dark ink is getting on there. And like I said, normally with blending, you would blend off at first, but with this, we want pretty much full strength color. We are not trying to be shy on color. I can already tell these leaves are going to be gorgeous. Like I said, I really need to pull out this set more often. I'm going to go over these a little bit more. I can tell these ones are darker. These ones over here, I did not get so much ink on. Or maybe because it's not as much that needs to be covered. All right. Are you guys ready for the final? Dun, dun, dun. I got a mess all over my desk over here. But look at that. Oh my gosh. Isn't that gorgeous? And now we're going to cut this all up. But first, let's get to our card base because I've gotten away from that. I wanted to do that first to show you because that is so pretty. So for this fun fold, we're going to use a 4 1/4 by 11, and this is thick basic white. So 4 1/4, and we already know that this is 11, the standard card stock. And we're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, just like a normal card base. And this is going to go forward like you would fold it normally. And then we're going to go back on this one. But I'm going to cut my other piece. So this is 3 1/4, 3 1/4. This is Misty Moonlight, and we're going to go by 9. 9. Cut that. And then we're going to score it at 3 and 6. Do you guys notice when I score, I always go over it a couple of times? I don't know why, I just do that. But I am going to turn some lights on. The weather has gotten dark, so I wanted to add some light, some more light. So this one is going to go in and out like a Z, so we can burnish those lines. We can burnish our our card base. So now let's put these aside. These are going to go like so. But let's get our designer series paper. So we're going to use, like I said before, we're going to use this this one with the gold. So this is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside. And then we're going to do 2 1/2 by 4. So we already know this is 4, so we're going to go 2 1/2, and that's going to go on the front flap. And then these ones, since our little squares here are they're 3 by 3. We're going to cut these at 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. So we need 2 because we're going to add gold in the middle one. So 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 on that pattern. Oh, I'm so excited for these flowers. I think they came out so pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to use my seal today just to cut down on some time from me getting all full of glue. This is going to go right inside here. This one is going to go, I got to make sure I stay in the camera. Like I said, I'm so short. I'm 5'4", but I feel like I'm so short all the time. I have to have my husband and son quite a bit of times get up in the cupboards for me. All right, and then we're gonna do these ones, and I should have kept my trimmer out because we need to cut the gold. And did I cut this right? This is 3, right? Why did I cut it 3 1/4? Let me see. I cut it 3 1/4. It is 3. Not sure why I did 3 1/4. I think I was looking at something else. I made this same boo-boo on my workshop Wednesday. I thought this kind of looked tall, narrow. Okay. So we'll just trim that off. Now our 2 7/8 pieces will fit better. And we're going to put on the front one and then the middle one. I'm trying to think of the direction. I guess they look like they're going that way. Gotta always remember if you have a pattern one. And then let's get our gold. And our gold is going to be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 as well. This might already be 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And I wanted to use the gold to bring out the gold in the designer series paper. And plus we're going to put those gorgeous flowers on it. So before, normally I would probably, and this is me, I would probably attach this piece, but I think we're going to put our flowers on first because it'll be easier to attach them since they're flat, while they're flat. So let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to cut our poor flowers up. So here is a die that'll fit on this like so. And then we're going to cut them apart with our paper snips because we want to use those flowers on every one of our panels. So there is this big one that'll cut out this whole thing. Let me line that all up. Perfect. And then there's another die that's going to cut just the flower. Cut one of the flowers out. So we're going to put this back on. That all got stuck on there. And this one here is just going to cut out this flower. So watch how. And we're gonna layer these, and all the cuts that I make are gonna be so easy that it's not like, I think this is the only piece I don't use, but you could probably add it somewhere. if you want. Get that out of the way. Now let's bring in our card. And actually we still need to do some other die cutting, but this one is going to go like here. But okay, let me, I guess, show you what we're gonna cut. So we're just gonna cut this right here and just cut along like so. This is the one that's gonna go on this front panel. We need to cut our circle still. And this whole piece, so this kind of looks, see how that leaf got cut off? I don't even know where that other leaf went, but anyway, that gets cut off because I know when I was doing, and so we're just gonna cut around that to make this look even. You can cut some of this here to make it look a little prettier. This is gonna go on our last panel, but I know we're cutting this whole thing up. This is gonna go on our last panel, and this one is gonna go in the center. We just wanna cut all these little kind of leftover pieces out. This doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna cover it. We're just trying to cover, get rid of these from where we cut that flower out. Like so. So this is basically going to go like that. All right, so we are going to add dimensionals. We're not going to add this one yet, but this is going to go on our last panel, like I told you. And we'll just put a bunch of dimensionals on here. And I'm going to add a mini dimensional over here on this piece so that I don't have to trim. And actually, I think I cut these. No, this might be too big. I think it is a little bit too big. I forgot I ran out of minis. So I have to cut off the sides. And these ones are from like a paper pumpkin. Dang, I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. So this one, you can put it like this or like this. It's however you want. On this one, I think I'm going to go like this. But don't worry if you have it hanging over the side because you have all this room on the card. See, this one I put this way, but I think on this one, I want to go this way. Just to be different. This one we're gonna, and see again, this one's hanging over, this is hanging over, but you have all this space around to have it hang over. If it was one that you were trying to fold and put in a card, you wouldn't, an envelope, you wouldn't want it to hang over. But I think this, well, I know this is gonna fold and fit in a envelope. All these pieces. So this one you just don't want it to overlap on the fold. So this one we'll put like so. And then now some dimensionals for this one. 1, 2, 3 should be good. And I want to leave, I got some little green there for some, well, it's probably going to get covered, but I want to leave a little room. You're covering up those cuts, but I'm going to leave a little room here because we're going to put our sentiment. Okay, and then this one is going to go, but we need to die cut our circle. So we are using, I believe, is it this one? No, it's third. That's what I thought. Third to the largest. Stylish shaped circle. And we can cut our little, where's my stamp set? I must have moved it with my, Stamparatus. Wait, I thought I pulled God Bless out. Actually, I did. It's right here. Here's our happy anniversary. And here's our Versamark. But that's what I was looking for. We are going to die cut these pieces before I stamp and emboss, because I prefer to die cut prior to embossing, just in case anything goes wrong. Not that anything is going to. And this little guy kind of moved. Look at, he's moving around, but let's make sure he stays on the paper. So basic white cardstock. We're cutting out our little tag and our circle. Let me reach and put these on my magnetic sheet. Get this out of the way so that we can heat emboss with gold. This card's coming together. It's coming, it's coming. I'm gonna have to get my stuff and move it over here so you guys can see the heat embossing. And I'm gonna need my tweezers. And I like to use the embossing buddy on mine. So this like is a static remover. And then that way, when you put the embossing powder, it doesn't spread all over. And like I said, we're going to use gold. Let's already have my gold out. And let me plug in my heat tool. Didn't think I was going to do so many techniques this week. But here we are. So this first one, we're going to stamp the happy anniversary. I'm going to put that aside. We'll do one at a time. And the happy anniversary, we want to stamp it towards the top. So we're stamping in Versamark. Nice thing about these is you could see through them. Although you can't see that clear ink, it is there. We're going to use our gold embossing powder. But we want to stamp at the top because our flowers are going to go at the bottom. Tap, tap, tap. I must have pressed too hard right there. Got some other little bit of ink. My little eye doesn't look like it has much embossing powder. All right, so let's move this aside and watch the magic work. Sorry about the shadow. When I turn that light on, we got major shadow. It's not heated up. It's cold here. We are supposed to get lots of snow today. Well, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow. So it is getting cold. All right, so see how pretty. We're gonna move that one aside. Where's our little tag? We're gonna stamp God Bless. I'm gonna stick my head in here because I cannot see. Especially with this darn shadow. I'm so sorry. And bring this in again. Whoa. When you have a little tag. And God Bless. Let the magic work again. I love the look of heat embossing. I'm just not one that does it a lot. And I think it's just because I forget. Just like I forgot about this Layers of Beauty stamp set. Because we have so many others coming out all the time that I just, you know, I use it at first and then it goes away. Okay, let me get all this out of the way so we don't have any mistakes, boo-boos with that. Okay, so now let's go back to our centerpiece, and we're going to put our happy anniversary on with some dimensionals. 3, 4. Oops, I got a 5th one. Will it fit on here? I think these will fit. And I could have used all my flowers too. Either way, it's going to need it. So this is going to go right like so. And where did I lose my flowers? Okay, I lost my flowers. But hold on, we're going to put this little guy on. Where the heck did they go? Did you guys see where they went? I have so much stuff on my desk right now that they're probably wandering around. We're going to put this one right here like so. Okay, they had to have stuck to something. Are they on the bottom of my cut and emboss? Nope. Oh, look, they were though, because they were over there. And so this one, we're going to actually glue it on because this is already on dimensionals. And my goodness, we'll just add some glue and put that right like so. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now it's time to assemble this. So what we're going to do is I want to make sure that this is glued first. Is we're going to put some, we'll put some seal on this one. And we're going to fold this like so. And we're going to slip in between here. We're going to slip these ones. And so kind of give yourself a guide as to where you want it. So like that looks pretty good, right? Seems to be even on each side. It's straight, and then just press down. This is the side that we're adhering right now. So now we're just gonna fold this open, put a couple of strips of seal, fold that back over, and then fold it right like so. And then ta-da! There's our fancy fold. I'm sure you guys have seen this fold done so many different ways, but we're going to add some of these gold accents. These are gold flower accents. Just to add more gold bling, we'll put one here. Put it, oops, my putties. One over here, one over here. And then we're going to add some over here and here. And I think we could add a little one here. We're not putting anything on the center because we're going to add a bow now. So when I originally made mine, this one, I used this gold twine. If you have it, it works perfect. If not, we have the gold and white. The gold and white and the black and gold. We're going to use the gold and white twine. This came out with the Christmas ornamental Christmas suite, but this will work because it's got gold in it. Again, I'm just trying to bring that gold out from the designer series paper. And those were not my ribbon scissors. What was I doing? Thinking. And then we'll just put it on a glue dot, stick that right like so, and put our bow on. Okay, so there is our Fun Fold Friday card. So here are the measurements for everything. These are the products that I used besides the inks and stuff. And then you could scan this QR code and it will take you right to my store where you can purchase the products. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you like the blue flowers or the pink flowers? Please comment. I think I really like these blue, the way they come out. And what I did on this one is, see this little flower here? I kind of cut that off and I put it there. It's up to you. Let me grab my other sample, because this one I left that flower attached as well. But here's the pink. So if these were on there, those again, I colored with the blends. These I used the masks. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this card, and I will see you next Friday with another fun fold, but be sure and join me for Workshop Wednesday as well. Take care. Bye-bye.